Alright, hello everyone. So today we're going to be talking about dimensional analysis. So what is dimensional analysis? Dimensional analysis is just a fancy way about talking about conversions. So conversions are really useful. That could be like conversions of currency for like dollar to pound, or we could be talking about units of measure, so like miles to meters, all sorts of good stuff like that. So to go through this, first let's talk about an example. Suppose we wanted to find how many seconds are in a day. How would we go about doing that? Okay, well, step one is to start with what you know and recognize that per means divided by. Well, okay, so I don't know how many seconds are in a day, but I do know that there are 24 hours in a day, and we could say 24 hours per day. So let's call that our start point. 24 hours per one day. And then we know we want to end the number of seconds in one day. Alright, that's step one. Step two, use known equivalencies from a table or common knowledge to relate where you start to where you want to end. We know there are 60 minutes per hour and there are 60 seconds per minute. Okay, so let's write those down. These are going to be useful. So we also know there are 60 minutes per 1 hour and there are 60 seconds per 1 minute. Now I could just as easily have written 1 hour per 60 minutes and done the hour on top and minutes on the bottom, but it's going to be more useful for us to write it like this in this example. Alright, so now let's move on. What is step 3? Step 3 says to multiply the starting quantity by the conversion factors that will cancel out units you don't want until you end up with units you do want. What does that mean? Okay, so we started with 24 hours in one day. Well, I can multiply this whole thing by this conversion factor, 60 minutes per 1 hour. Well, why would I do that? Well, let's take a look and see what happens. So if I multiply this by 60 minutes for 1 hour, well, how do I multiply fractions? Just straight across, right? So 24 times 60 is going to give me 1,440. 1 times 1 is just going to give me 1. Here's where this is cool. The units, hours, minute, day, they multiply as well. We can treat these just like we would numbers. So the fact that I have hours here and hours here, hours over hours cancels out, and we're just left with minutes over days. So the units cancel. So now that I have this, I know that there are 1,440 minutes in one day. Now I can use my second equivalency, this one here. I know that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. And the same thing is going to happen. I'm going to have minutes over minutes, which is going to cancel out. And I'm just going to be left with seconds over days. And let's see, so 1,440 times 60, did this in a calculator, is just 86,400 seconds per 1 day. So the big thing here is that these units are going to cancel when we multiply by our conversion factors. And that's why we set this up as 60 seconds over minutes. So we would get an arrangement where minutes would cancel, where what we don't want is going to go away. So our final answer is that there are 86,400 seconds per day. That is a lot of seconds. Thank you for spending so many of them watching this video.